friendship. So on New Year's, I was nervous about my date or non-date. I wasn't the same young man when I used to think I woke up in the morning and pissed excellence, a blessing and a curse to the opposite sex. Even back then, it was just an inflated ego the army brainwashed me into believing. But now I was broken, alone, and in an unfamiliar world where the language was alien, the culture made little sense, and I left my confidence on the ground with the rock that shattered my femur. Claudia had a friend that came to pick us up. I assumed it was her date, and I had just become a third wheel, another point of sympathy for me. Well, shit. It's a free ride to a town outside of Marseille that I hadn't visited yet, and a chance to sit and drink in a different hole. I kept mostly quiet, since she didn't speak English and I didn't speak French or Romanian. She spoke French fluently, or at least well enough to piss on my French. She would giggle and smile every time I would say something, which wasn't much. I expended all the vocabulary I knew just to make the effort. Her favorite word that she teased me about all night was brosse à dents. The bar we went to wasn't so much a bar as a student recreation center set up like a prom for a small town, and it seemed to be primarily Asian in ethnicity. The music was playing, but nobody was dancing. The drinks were there, but not being drunk. I was in New Year's Eve hell. Luckily, the drinks were cheap, and I, therefore, headed straight to the minibar to keep my buzz going. Claudia and her friend Olivia walked in slowly, as if absorbing the overwhelming grandiosity of the place. I was still unsure by the conversation in the car if they were together or not, and therefore unsure of my role to play in the night's events. They hadn't made any physical contact yet, but had been talking friendly in the car ride over. I didn't understand most of it, and didn't pay attention to the rest. I had my drink by the time they arrived at the bar, and Olivia ordered a drink for both of them. I sat there and took a drink every time I tried to think of something to say but couldn't. By the time we sat down, I was on my third whiskey, and they still had their first punch. We found some chairs near the music and around the dance floor. I was happy to be sitting down, as my leg kills me if I stand on it for more than a few minutes. Olivier kept chatting up Claudia, and I could see a better picture of their relationship. She would smile and talk, but despite his best efforts, she wouldn't budge. I couldn't hear this, and I didn't even know what they were saying. Olivia was sitting on the other side of Claudia from me. All three of us knew that he wasn't getting anywhere with Claudia, but he just kept talking. And he talked, and he talked. Thankfully, I couldn't hear him because the stereo was too loud.